Hello everyone, this is hello there everyone, this is Anime Vision and welcome to What If Deku Was a Devil Part 3. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Now that's where I left off. Deku had pretty much stormed a castle of hell and acquired a ring. Now the ring grants the user power. It grants him the power of the previous wielder. If you have the ring, you know how it's not like one for all, like how every previous user. No, just the ring gives you the power of the user you had from before. But if you were to give it to someone temporarily and get it back, you would still be able to get the power of the previous user. Now, also because the previous devil was a skeleton when he came in, he pretty much died before, and Q is about to die because an angel had kind of came down there for certain reasons that will be displayed later. Don't play in the mud, Ivory. Now. What did I just tell you? You agreed. You said okay. I turn around 2 seconds later and you're doing it again. Okay, Now, Deku, he pretty much has the power of the previous one for himself, too. Also, the ring has pretty much unlimited storage, like how in Aphrodita, that ring has storage. Deku's has too. But also with it, he can open portals. Oh yeah, by the way, if you by the power of the previous demon that had it, I mean that it that just means it amps up all the abilities to the equivalent of the previous demon, or it just adds the demon's overall strength and power over to you. You don't get any of that demon's unique abilities. Deku would not get the unique abilities of the previous demon. There's just some the ring holds. Anyway, but along with having that ring, he becomes the ruler of hell. And all demons must obey his every wish. If they don't, he kills them. Because they don't have to, but the question is authority, death. Because he was strong enough to make it there on his own, kill everyone, every demon, getting over to there, as well as getting the strength of the previous demon king. So the previous devil. So Deku, he's decided it's finally time for him to go home. He's missed eating actual food. Whenever he tries opening a portal, though, he kind of had a little bit of trouble. He was kind of wondering why. So he went into a room that had a bunch of books, pretty much a library, and the ring automatically started switching everything to a way he can understand. So, Deku, so he started flipping through the books until he got to the abilities of the ring. And pretty much, in order to open a portal, he has to kill, in order to fully gain control of the ring, he has to prove himself to it. Or the previous user before it gives it to him. But since since he took it from the dead king, that means that Deku didn't get to prove himself. So he started trying to find ways how he could prove himself. And now he has to kill one of the ancient ones. So pretty much he summoned a whole bunch of demons into castle. And pretty much the moment he put on the ring, every demon could pretty much just sense his power from then on. So they immediately just swore their allegiance to him. So Deku had them try and locate an ancient one. They found one, and pretty much they were supposed to be guards of hell. The only demons not ruled by the devil. They were there since the creation of hell. And as I said, each one is supposed to be as powerful as a demon himself. Well, as a devil himself. So Deku thought that this was pretty interesting. So after locating a devil, he immediately went to that area, flying as fast as he could, getting into that area, and whenever he found it, he immediately engaged battle. He'd stolen armor and weapons. He grabbed a sword and extended his demonic-looking wings. His eyes glowing red, and just a huge smile goes across Deku's face, showing his fangs. His sword just goes on fire. The fire is black and green. And Deku just slices forward towards the ancient one, completely cutting its head off. And Deku thought he was done, so he started trying to head back. This is when the ancient one just stuck its head back on, and Deku thought, this is going to be a tougher battle than he thought. So he kept on trying to slice it, but it seems that after every hit, the thing just adapts to it. It's becoming harder to slice through it. So it's becoming harder to slice through it. I'm so sorry for the background noise. My family's decided to come outside. I do not like it. And the dogs are going crazy. I do not like it. So Deku, he has decided that pretty much he just puts all of his energy into one final attack. But not from his sword, from his fist, from his claws. his fist kind of enlarged. And his armor that was just black and red, that really didn't look like anything. It looked cool, but it didn't look anything that could actually do anything. Spikes came out from it, and pretty much it grew. The armor grew, and Deku hit the Ancient One straight in the chest, because there's only two ways how to defeat a demon that has regeneration. 1, take out its heart. 2, cut off its head. This one seems to have a greater regeneration, and can seem to live without his head. So that one's out. So he decided to cut out his heart. He grabbed out the Ancient One's heart and crushed it in his hand. Blood just completely splattered everywhere. By the way, if you're wondering about the size of an Ancient One, it has the height of Eiffel Tower. No, it's like imagine the biggest thing you can, and that's the size of it. Like its pinky is the size of a skyscraper, and that is an Ancient One. And Deku just grabbed its heart. Now it's a pretty big heart too, the size of a car, and yet he just squished it. And yeah. So Deku decided he was going. He just drank the blood of the Ancient One, feeling his power rise even more. This is when he gave his sword to a demon and told him to slice his head off. And he says, "If I don't come back, you can be the ruler of hell." And the demon just agrees, and Deku's head comes off. This is when Deku just starts throwing it, just walks over and picks up his head, and starts kind of juggling it around. He then puts his head back on, and Deku thinks, that's really cool. But then he says, there may be a day I come back, so until then, Ivory, will you stop getting in the mud? I told you not to go in the mud. That is a lot of mud. We're about to... Oh my gosh. Try and get as much mud off your shoe as possible. Oh, why are they so loud? So... Deku, he leaves that demon in charge. And pretty much says, is there a way for you to contact me? The demon says yes, so this is when Deku said, if anyone ever tries to overthrow you, I'll come back and kill them real quick. God dang it. So, Deku decided he is going to return to Earth. He gets there, and he's in an alleyway. Deku thinks, this area doesn't seem too familiar. And Deku, he pretty much just Deku, he pretty much just what should I say? He's just walking. This is when a sludge villain, like this is when the sludge villain showed up saying, "Kid, I need to borrow your body. I didn't know he was here." This is when Deku turned around, showing his immense bloodlust. Some flames came out of his hand. They were black and green. And Deku just looked at him and said, "You don't know who you just ran into. I'll make sure you get special treatment where you're about to go." And the sludge villain's like, "What?" This is when the sludge villain notices the horns, the red eyes, the slits in them like they're not even human. This is when Deku just burned the sludge villain, making sure the flames didn't kill him immediately, since he can control his flames. And he just used a technique called Tormentor's Flame. Pretty much, he stopped. Well, it didn't cause the sludge villain harm, but it burned him so much, pretty much, like to the worst pain in existence times a million. So, like that. And he is forced to constantly have that. And then Deku said, and the sludge villain just saying, please, just kill me." And then Deku said, "Okay." And then he started making it actually start hurting, like actually physically hurting him. Still with much pain though. And actually, Deku decreased it. And right as the sludge villain was about to die, Deku just came up and whispered to him, saying, "Get ready to feel that pain for all of eternity." The sludge villain's eyes just went wide as he passed out dead. Now, whenever All Might got there, all that was, he just saw steam coming up. And Deku kind of forced his horns to go away. He forced his eyes to go back to normal. And he turned to All Might and he asks, "What's today?" And so All Might just says, okay, but he kind of just doesn't answer Deku's question. He says, "What happened to the sludge villain?" And Deku said, "Oh, that guy, he just tries to put on a nice smile and says, 'Oh, he ran away.'" It's like, "Oh, you must have an impressive quirk, kid." Deku just looked at All Might and said, "Oh, I don't have a quirk." And as he just walks away, whistling. And now this is kind of the same thing that happened to the enchantment Deku. So I think I finally got a whistle down. Do it. Now I think about that, I might have gotten that from, what was it called? Shoot. It's from, now it seems familiar now that I actually kind of think about it, but what was it? Total Drama. That. So, Deku, What should I say? Okay, so he kind of walks back to his house. He asked him on the way what today's date was and what's the year. And he just realizes it's only been 7 days since he was been gone. And Deku thinks that time must go differently, or must flow differently. So Deku, he is, I don't know. Deku, he is going. Like, he goes back to his house and sees a moving team. And so when Inko comes out and says, "Oh, where have you been?" And Deku kind of tenses up, and she's like, "Did one of Sashi's mob friends in quotation mark come visit again? Dang it." Well, then she kind of says, "Well, don't worry. You don't have to deal with that anymore." And Deku said, "Why?" This is when Inko said that Sashi won the lottery and then immediately tried to get a divorce. Right after that. And then when during the divorce, Inko, since Hasashi decided to just completely give up, not even fight for custody for Deku, so she ended up getting it. Also, because of that, she was also kind of rewarded. She even kind of won a little over half the money. And Deku said, "How much money did you get exactly?" This is when she said, pretty much it would be, she just said, pretty much if everyone in the world give us $1. And Deku's like, okay. And then he said, "How much did we get? It's 3/4 of the world gave us $1. And he kind of smiled and he asked what happened to Hisashi. And she said, his mob friends immediately came and collected their share. So, yeah. But they're moving into a mansion. Hold on. Okay, so Deku, he's going to, sorry for the noise. It irritates me. So Deku, he's going to... So, he kind of moves into a mansion. And he thinks it's very interesting. Like, he's spent 700 years in hell. I think that's the temperament I gave him. 100 years per day. But now, he pretty much gets to live a great life. This is when Inko said, "So, do you still want to become a hero?" Deku just looked at her and said, sounds like fun. And now the next day at school, everyone saw Deku. Kind of had like a slightly different aura around him. Like no one really wanted to mess with him until the dummy Bakugo and his goons just came up to him, and they said, "Where have you been?" Deku just looked at him and said, "I was in hell. Well, it looks like I'm back here anyway." And some kids around him just kind of laugh, because school is hell. Well, if you like school. And so, most people don't really like school for the reason you're supposed to be in it. Anyway, then Bakugo said, well, it's time to make my day, or our days a little better then. And they're about to start school hitting Deku. This is when Deku just catches the punch. His eyes go red. He kind of slips in him like a snake. And he just looks at Bakugo. And this is when the ring on Deku's finger kind of glows a little bit. And every single traumatic experience that Bakugo has ever had, he had to relive times, but like all the pain or all the emotional pain he went through was forced times a million. Pretty much. Kind of like the penance stare that Ghost Rider has, but it doesn't burn the soul. It just pretty much is made to break your mind. But anyway, he like lives it over, like he lives all of his traumatic experiences over thousands of times within a second. But all the pain is worse. And in the moment he stops, Bakugo is just breathing heavily, saying, "You're a villain. You're the devil." And Bakugo kind of falls to the floor, kind of moving backwards a little bit. And Deku just kind of leaned in Bakugo's ear, saying, "That's not too far from the truth now." Well, Deku just leans in, saying, "Shh, stop." So Deku, he just leans down into Bakugo's ear, saying, "That's not too far from the truth now." And whenever he kind of starts getting out of his face, when Bakugo kind of locks eyes with Deku just for a second, Bakugo can see hell. He can see the fire and torment in Deku's eyes. As if just in his gaze, he'd lived 100 years of hell. And he shuddered at just looking at that. And then Deku's eyes went back normal and he got out of Bakugo's face. He said, "Don't mess with me again." That's when his goons were like, "Come on, Bakugo, let's go get him." And Bakugo just looked at them and said, "Never mess with him. Never go near him. Never talk to him. Don't even sit by him." And from that day, whenever Deku got near, Bakugo went completely pale. Okay, now next time I'm gonna cover the UA entrance exam. Till next time, goodbye.